Because a child's brain or their central nervous system doubles in size during the first year of life and continues growing and developing at that rapid pace for the first 3 to 7 years of life, making sure that this system is working at full function is simply the most important exam and assessment any pediatric provider could ever perform for your child. While traditional medicine relies primarily on symptoms and looks for obvious pathology on standard exams like blood work, MRIs, and EEGs, our practice uses an incredible piece of technology called the Insight scans that accurately assesses the health and function of the central nervous system. If your child struggled with colic and frequent crying as an infant, excessive tantrums and meltdowns as a toddler or preschool age child, motor coordination and speech delays, sensory processing and emotional regulation challenges, ADHD, and anxiety type challenges later on, these are all signs that point to a stressed out, tense, and stuck central nervous system. Sadly, most pediatricians dismiss most of these challenges as normal and tell parents still today things like, don't worry, they'll grow out of it. Well, we now know that for most kids, those symptoms and conditions are obvious signs of trouble brewing in the nervous system. When we get into things like technology and neurology, many of us can get overwhelmed, confused, or disinterested quite quickly. But that's the beauty of and practicality of our insight scanning technology that I want to show you. It's super simple and easy to understand. This is for you parents who are searching for an objective test that will show them what's going on within their child's nervous system. You're going to learn exactly what electromyography is used for and how pediatric chiropractic can help. The nervous system is a two-way street. One set of nerves are called sensory nerves that send information and report to the brain and brainstem precisely what's going on inside the body or your internal environment and outside the body, your external environment. The other set of nerves is more what is termed motor control nerves that send signals out from the brain and spinal cord and tell the various parts of the body what to do, when to do it, how to do it, etc. Because neurological communication within the nervous system has to do this vitally important job for 37.2 million cells in the human body, things need to happen fast and have an absolute clear line of communication. We were designed to operate well past 5G long before it was invented, and we certainly can't have our kids operating at dial-up speeds. This particular scan, called the EMG or electromyography, is vital for us to help our perfect storm kids best. It serves as the most important form of testing that we can do when conditions like autism, sensory integration disorders, ADHD, and anxiety are being investigated. That's because each of these neurodevelopmental and neurosensory challenges are rooted in stuck tension, altered tone, and exhaustion of the neuromotor system. Most parents of a child on the spectrum or who struggles with sensory sensitivities are familiar with the word tone, having worked with outstanding professionals like pediatric PTs, OTs, and speech therapists. Neurological and tone challenges are a big deal as motor function and development determine brain function and development. That means if the EMG scan detects patterns of stuck tension and imbalance, the brain is almost certainly stuck in sympathetic, that fight or flight tone, and also struggling with an imbalance between its core functions of regulating emotions, behavior, learning, and memory. There are 3 common findings with pediatric EMG scans, and we'll briefly describe them here and then show examples of each type below. The first one is what we call a raging bull. This is a child whose nervous system is stuck on the gas pedal, that fight or flight system, and entirely sympathetic dominant, leading to challenges with things such as hyperactivity, impulsivity, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, and so forth. The second one is what we call a drunken bull, and this scan finding most often correlates with a child struggling with coordination, focus, reading comprehension and communication, and things like that. And the third one is a raging drunken bull. As the child gets older, often they end up with both scan patterns and signs and symptoms of each. The most exciting thing about neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic is that we can see changes in a child's EMG scans quickly because their nervous system is still learning to grow and adapt at such a fast pace. Their brains and bodies are growing and developing rapidly. It's quite incredible. But that also means that when subluxation gets into neuromuscular systems, as we can see on the EMG right here, it can wreak havoc and alter their development for years to come. Diving a bit deeper into this particular scan, our Insight EMG scans also use a 3-step scoring system that allows us to really understand what's going on with that child's neuromotor system and thus overall brain and neurodevelopment. So here are 3 scores that you'll see even on this scan. At the bottom, you'll see the words there. You'll also see it on your child's EMG scan and a quick explanation of what they mean. And then we're going to provide some examples of EMG scans as well. So the first thing that we look at is the total energy score. This score tends to go way up in a child who's wound up and stuck in that sympathetic mode. And therefore, a high score here is most often seen with our raging bull cases, struggling with things like anxiety, behavior, and sleep issues, and so forth. Something that is above 150 gives us some form of that tension, but we can even see it in the thousands. The second one is the pattern score. This is right in the middle here, and it is a significant score to the overall neurological tone. And a low score here indicates a child who's likely struggling with emotional dysregulation, focus and concentration challenges, postural exhaustion, and a weak core, and so forth. When we talk about low, anything really under 75% means that there's some regulation of tone that needs to change. And the third score that you'll see all the way over here is the symmetry score. Now, this score measures the balance between the right and the left sides of the neurospinal system, which is crucial to be sure that there is balance in overall brain function and coordination. So here I'm going to switch. This is a raging bull EMG scan. So the number one thing that signifies this child scan as a raging bull scan is the excessively high total energy number shown in the bottom left-hand corner. So you can see that it says 413.8. The normal score should be 100 to 150 if they're going through some kind of growth and development. This means that her entire neuromotor system is fully locked into fight or flight tone and interfering with her neuromotor development, standing, walking, etc., her sleep, behavior, emotions, digestion, and more. Interestingly, this child is also a drunken bull, as shown by the other 2 low scores. So here's a different EMG scan, and this is a drunken bull scan. For this child, her pattern score being so low, that 24.2%, signifies that she's struggling with drunken bull type neurological challenges, emotional regulation, sensory processing, motor coordination, digestion, and more. But you can see how her total energy isn't as high. The insight scans do exactly what they're named for. Give us insights and an understanding of the most crucial aspect of your child's health in ways that no other health practitioner can. The nervous system truly is the mom of the entire body, keeping everything and everyone on track at all times. And just like quite a few moms, it can get wound up and worn out. But it truly doesn't have to be that way. At Generations Chiropractic, we will put together, or we already have put together, a fully personalized and customized care plan just for you. With each adjustment during that restoration or wellness care plan, you'll see the stuck stress and tension leave your child's body and the calm, relaxation, and healing capacity kick in. We can't wait for you to experience miracles that only neurologically focused chiropractic can bring to the table.